right, thanks, guys. The Bulls travel to Charlotte to take on the Hornets. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the Queen City. The Hornets are the 9.5-point favorite in this one. Total was 228 down to 227. Currently, Charlotte's the $5 favorite, 30-cent move toward the Hornets. And at the moment, 55% of the consensus is on the Bulls to cover. 54% is shaded toward the over. We're looking at a Hornets team who's 3-2 against the spread for the season, 5-2 straight up in their last 7 at home against the Bulls. The Hornets have also successfully covered the number in 5 out of their last 7 playing at home against Chicago. Now the Bulls on the other side, just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games on the road, dating back to last season. Chicago's also dropped 8 out of their last 9 away from home. And total-wise, Chicago finds themselves giving up 121 points per contest on the road. Charlotte's 3-2 to the over themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to make the chalky lean in this one. Give me the Charlotte Hornets -9 after buying the half a point, and the over 227 in this one. Next game, Warriors Knicks, 7:30 New York. The Warriors are -12. Total was 229 down to 228. Currently, Golden State's the $11 favorite on the money line. And at the moment, 75% are leaning Golden State, 75% shaded toward the over. And speaking of Golden State, 9-1 straight up in their last 10 with the Knicks. That said, though, this Golden State squad is 2-3 ATS for the season, 0-2 ATS on the road, and winless against the spread as the official road favorite. They're also taking on a Knicks squad who's 4-1 against the spread, depending on where you're shopping at. The Knicks are also 2-0 ATS at MSG, while also going 3-1 against the spread when catching the points. Now, total-wise, 3 out of both teams' last 5 games stayed under the total. The Warriors are also 2-0 to the under in their games that tipped off around the current posted total. So with all that said and done, I got to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me the New York Knicks +12 and the under 228 in this one. And with that said, just want to welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for our Friday slate of NBA ball games. Can't believe Friday's already here. Happy Friday, everybody. And the weekend's here, so I hope you enjoy your weekend as well. But before we get into some more lines and personal leans, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 65% for my last 23 underdog plays on that website, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just quickly hit that pause button right now and open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching this program right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And with all that said and done, let's go ahead and jump right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Mavericks, Raptors, 7:30 Toronto. The Raptors were 10.5 now, -11.5. Total was 229 down to 225 and a hook. Currently, the Raptors are the $8.35 favorite on the money line, 60-cent move toward Toronto in the early going here. And at the moment, 71% is leaning toward Toronto, 69% shaded toward the over. Now, Toronto's 5-0 thus far on the season, 3-2 against the spread in those ball games. The Raptors have also successfully covered the number in 3 out of their 4 ball games on their home court. Now, the Mavs on the other side, they're allowing nearly 120 points of scoring per contest. It was 120 points of scoring per contest. They've also failed to cover the number in 2 games away from Dallas this season. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Toronto's last 5 got over the total. They're also 3-1 to the over in their games at the Scotiabank Arena. And in addition to Dallas giving up a bunch of points per contest, they're averaging 115 points of scoring per game on the offensive side as well. So with all that said and done, should be a fun one in the Great North. Give me the Raptors -11 after buying the hook, and the over 225.5 in this one. Next game, Clippers-Rockets, 8 o'clock Houston. The Rockets were -2.5 now, 3. Total was 219 down to 218 and a hook. Currently, the Rockets are $1.50 for some money line cash. That's a 15-cent move toward Houston. And at the moment, 57% are leaning Houston, 67% shaded toward the over. And speaking of Houston, Just 1-3 ATS in their 4 games for the season. They're averaging less than 110 points of scoring per contest, while also going a winless 0-2 ATS at the Toyota Center. They're taking on a Clippers squad who's successfully covered the number in 2 out of their last 3. LA's also gone 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 meetings with the Rockets. Now, total-wise, 3 out of LA's 4 games for the season all stayed under the total. Meanwhile, on the Houston side, they're averaging just 100 points of scoring per contest on their home court. So with all that said and done, should be a pretty tight one in Houston. Give me the LA Clippers +3 and the under 218.5 in this one. Next game, Nets, Pelicans, 8 o'clock New Orleans. The Pels are -9.5, totals 236.5. The Pelicans are the $5 favorite on the money line, a 30-cent move toward New Orleans. And at the moment, 73% of the spread consensus is shaded toward the Pelicans. 61% is also shaded toward the under. So if you like the Pels in this one, you might as well act now, as I see this one definitely closing out in double digits by tip-off this evening. And if you like the Nets to get the job done on the road, you might as well wait it out a little bit, as you'll most likely catch another half a point or so by tip-off if this current fade continues. If you like Brooklyn and a big outright upset tonight, pretty good price point here for you. +415 for Brooklyn backers on the money line. And if you're going to tail the public on the scoring in this one, the under is going to cost you $1.15 to win $100. Semantics aside, though, this New Orleans squad has been excellent both in the outright game and against the spread this season. The Pelicans are 3-0 straight up and against the spread for the season thus far. The Pels are averaging a ridiculous 132 points of scoring per contest. They're taking on a Brooklyn squad who failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3, while also going just 0-1 against the spread in their lone game at the current number. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Brooklyn's last 4 stayed under the total. The Nets are also 2-1 to the under in their trio of games on the road this season. So with all that said and done, I got to make a chalky lean in this one as well. Give me the Pelicans -9 after buying the half a point in the under 236.5 in this one. Next game, Bucks, Timberwolves, 8 o'clock Minnesota. The Bucks opened up the betting as the 1.5 point favorite and the total at 232. And since those markets opened this one up, no real movement on the spread in this one, as Milwaukee remains -1.5 against the spread. That said, though, we did see a little movement upward on the total. Right now, the total's up to 233.5. Now, currently, Milwaukee's $1.25 on the money line, a 10-cent fade of Milwaukee in the early going here. And at the moment, 68% are leaning toward the Bucks to cover. 65% is shaded toward the over. So if you like Milwaukee in this one, pretty good number for you at the moment. Probably would take that action now if you were leaning toward the Bucks on the spread. If you like the T-Wolves to cover at home in this spot here, pretty significant fade of the T-Wolves on the spread in the early going here. Your number should improve at some point before the closing bell. You may just want to hold off and see if you can catch another half a point or so by tip-off. Now, if you like Minnesota to get the job done in the outright game, they're +110 for an outright victory on the money line. And if you're fading the consensus on the total, an underplay is going to pay you $100 on a $105 bet. A little lay there. All that aside, though, this Milwaukee team has been pretty stellar so far in the season. 4-0 straight up for the year, 3-1 ATS depending on where you're shopping at. Milwaukee's averaging 120 points of scoring per game while holding their opponents to just 108. They're taking on a Minnesota squad who's just 2-7 ATS in their last 9 with the Bucks. The T-Wolves are also the T-Wolves are also giving up 116 points of scoring per contest themselves. Now, total-wise, might see a good amount of points in this one. The T-Wolves are 3-2 to the over for the season, while Milwaukee's gone 4-0 to the over in their 4 games themselves. So with all that said and done, I like the visitors in a hard-fought victory in this one. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks -1 after buying the half a point and the over 233.5 in this one. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Wizards-Kings, 10 o'clock Sacramento. The Wizards open up the betting as the 5-point favorite and the total at 236. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing a slight fade of the Wizards in the early going here. Washington is now -4.5 with the total dipping downward to 235 and a hook. Currently, the Wizards are 185 for some money line cash. And at the moment, 70% of the spread consensus is back on Washington. 63% is shaded toward the over. So if you like the Wizards, you better act on that now because we'll probably see their number get worse before you know it. And if you like the Kings to cover at home, you might as well be patient because I'm pretty sure you're going to catch yourself another half a point or so before tip-off if these current betting trends continue. But regardless, if you like the Kings in an outright upset at home, that's going to pay you $185 on a $100 bet if you pull the trigger. And if you like the under in this one, it's only going to cost you $107. All that said, though, we are looking at a Wizards squad who's struggled in both the outright game and against the number. Washington's just 1-3 straight up for the season, failing to cover in 3 out of those 4 ball games. The Wizards are allowing 134 points per contest on the road, failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 against Sacramento on the road. And speaking of Sacramento, they're scoring 117 points per contest themselves. They're also 5-2 ATS in their last 7 games dating back to last season, 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 at home. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Sacramento's 5 games for the season all got over the total. Meanwhile, on the Washington side, they're 4-0 to the over in their 4 games themselves. So with all that said and done, I like the Kings to get the job done catching the points in this one. Give me Sacramento +5 after buying the hook, and the over 236 in this one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 65% for my last 23 underdog plays on that website, you're causing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Membership tiers begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just quickly hit that pause button right now and open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching this program right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. Most importantly, thank you for watching today's program. I hope you enjoyed all this great free information. Please don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.